it's just what's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, bull sometimes, and, you know, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
No matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up... Get him, boy. Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
If you get aggravated, you're feeding into...
Made a lie and said that I tried to hurt myself. Chosen Wilkins.
An actor known for his role in the hit television series Empire is facing charges. Bryshere Gray has an assault and battery charge in Chesapeake.
Terrence Howard is finally speaking out about how Bryshere Gray got passed around the industry by Will Smith for Hollywood freak-offs. And the stuff he's saying is even more messed up than what Jaguar Wright talked about. Terrence might be a lot of things, but one thing he's always stood against is young black men getting exploited in the industry. And it looks like he tried protecting Bryshere too, but by the time he found out what was happening to him, it was already too late. Not only did they violate Bryshere, but after they were done with him, they got him hooked on all types of substances and blackballed him from the whole industry. Everyone could tell something was off with Bryshere when he started getting locked up like every other week. The first time was in 2020, when he got arrested for putting his hands on his wife. He beat her so badly that she had to run to a gas station nearby to get help, and that's where she found the cops and told them what happened. She said Bryshere choked her until she was passing in and out of consciousness. When police showed up at his place to arrest him, he wouldn't come out. It took hours of back and forth between the SWAT team and Bryshere just to get him out of the house. A lot of people were shocked to find out he was even married, and they were also shocked at how rough he looked in those mugshots. He did his time for that, but it wasn't long before he was back behind bars when he got convicted for attacking another woman. At this point, people were really starting to think he just had a problem with putting his hands on women. That was until Jaguar Wright jumped in and exposed some disturbing stuff that she claims happened to Bryshere involving Diddy and Will Smith. She said Diddy and Will allegedly exploited Bryshere by getting him caught up in freak-offs, which they infamously called mentorship.
Bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bryshere Gray left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed the help.
But Jaguar wasn't done yet, y'all. She did another interview after that where she talked about how Charlie Mack, who was Bryshere's manager when he was 17, worked together with his mother Andrea Mayberry to allegedly sell him out to Diddy and Will.
Say, Andy, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'm gonna kick you in your in and I'm gonna go to work North Philly style. Fuck you and Charlie. You happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell. I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You CI. I'm sorry.
Jaguar also said that Andrea actually came to her asking for help with Bryshere, and she told Andrea to get Bryshere away from Charlie Mack, since he was the one connecting Bryshere to Diddy. But Andrea didn't do anything and just let Diddy and Will keep messing with her son and getting him involved in freak-offs.
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the fuck away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitch on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gay. You and Charlie Mack.
According to Jaguar, there's a lawsuit that Bryshere was getting ready to file, but he still hasn't done it yet. And this lawsuit is supposedly the reason Hollywood is trying to blow up his new career as an OF creator, so they can make him look crazy when he finally starts speaking out. And listen to this, y'all. Jaguar even claimed that there's a secret tape out there with Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and Bryshere in a freak-off.
See, they trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and they and she let Charlie tune that boy up on knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a bigger whore than they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his fucking book.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Don't nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
And for those wondering what lawsuit Jaguar was referring to, well, a few months back, right before Bryshere started his OF page, there was talk going around about him supposedly getting ready to file a $50 million lawsuit against Diddy. This came from a blind item that said, "I suspect the soon-to-step-forward male victim of assault by this A-list mogul will not be the last man to do so. Sean Diddy Combs." Now, when it comes to Diddy and Will's alleged predatory behavior, there's really nothing shocking about it anymore. But Terrence Howard was still the last person anyone thought would have a story about almost being a victim. Apparently, aside from them touching Bryshere, they also tried to get Terrence to be their boy toy too. And this is honestly kind of crazy, because Terrence is as straight as any man can be. The possibility of turning him out is literally zero no matter what you offer him. He is simply not giving up those cheeks. But that's the thing with men like Will and Diddy. They allegedly don't want men who are openly gay or bisexual. They want straight men, so he can take away their straightness and make them feel less than. They get off on how powerful it makes him feel. And that's what Will allegedly did to Bryshere. Terrence had the internet going crazy a while ago when he did an interview and spilled everything about how Diddy tried coming onto him. He said he got a call from Diddy saying he wanted him to coach him for a role he supposedly had. It's not clear if Diddy really got cast for something, or if he just made that up to get Terrence to pull up to his house. But either way, he wasn't calling Terrence over there for any coaching. He had other plans, and they involved Terrence being naked and ready for a whole freak-off session. He said once he caught on to what Diddy was really trying to do, he cut him off completely, but that didn't stop other people in the industry from trying the same thing, because even after he stopped talking to Diddy, other producers also came at him with the same mess in exchange for acting roles.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the
Hell
consequences
yeah.
when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there, and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman.
But that wasn't even all, because at some point in the conversation, they brought up Bryshere Gray, and Terrence threw some shade his way by saying that Bryshere is one of those guys who hasn't been right since Diddy stripped him of his manhood by turning him into his little plaything.
When you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So
a lot of people weren't feeling how Terrence was talking because he was making it seem like just because a man is gay, that means he's not a real man. On top of that, people also thought he was blaming Bryshere for what happened to him. But if you really look at Bryshere's situation, he was the victim, and the mad people around him failed him. With the new formula, most men are made to be effeminate and not have their power or sense of strength. They allow white men to be strong, but not when it's black men. He continued, I don't want to remove a few chromosomes to fit in someone's story, so I feel they need to expand their stories to allow men to be men and simultaneously appreciate a woman's beauty. But it isn't only Terrence that had something to say about all this. Will's former best friend and assistant Bilal also went off on Will, accusing him of forcing Bryshere into freak-off activities without consent.
You hold them down because he was like, Charlie Mack is not going to be able to be there because him and Charlie had something else going on. I rob in Chicago for Empire. It's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going crazy, right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes. He's pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
The same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on. I pulled him to the side. I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. Okay. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know Will me. You know Diddy made me suck his piss. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm like, yo, listen.
Terrence clearly knows way more than anyone thinks he does, and it's not going to be long before Bryshere comes out to talk too. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, I get what Terrence was trying to say. He said that Bryshere was doing what he had to do for his career, but Diddy introduced him to drugs. After that show ended, that boy didn't have any more work, but hanging around with Diddy got him all the way up and he started spiraling. Another person said, I saw Bryshere at a local dispensary in AZ, poor thing looked so bad. You can see the defeat and sadness in his eyes. The energy around him was bad, praying for this man. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Bryshere Gray allegedly getting touched by Will Smith? And do you really think Terrence really tried to help Bryshere? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.